We're here with Mark Goode, who is an SIOR member and principal of Venture One Real Estate in Chicago. And we're going to be talking about an exciting shift in the manufacturing sector that is already occurring and is going to be bringing more jobs and opportunities to the United States. Now, Mark, in the manufacturing sector, we're hearing about what's called onshoring. Can you explain a little bit about what that is and why it's important?
Right. Onshoring is the allocation and reallocation of corporate resources into the manufacturing and production of products in the United States.
And you said that's already occurring.
It's already occurring. We're seeing companies doing it now where they're bringing production from either Asia or Europe to the United States to be closer to their customers.
Now, why is this happening?
It's happening for many reasons. It's happening because the cost of goods is getting closer for producing products in Asia and Europe to what it is in the United States. It's happening because the labor rates in Asia are increasing, and it's happening because the productivity levels and labor rates in Europe are not commensurate with the labor rates and productivity in the United States.
Now, you mentioned labor rates, and obviously that's just a part of the picture, but we're seeing statistics that say that labor rates in China, for example, are going up by 15%. How does that impact corporate decision making in terms of expansions?
Well, the labor rates are going up at 15 to 20% a year, and they're projected to keep going up at 15 to 20% a year going forward. But that's just one piece of it. The other piece of it is the productivity levels. The productivity levels of the worker in China versus the worker in the United States is right now at about 42%. So that, number one, you have the cost of labor increasing. You have the productivity and flexibility of the U.S. worker significantly higher than that. But then when you take in the other factors such as transportation, shipping, the complexity of the supply chain, and being closer to the customer, all those things are affecting the decisions.
Now, are we seeing this in any particular markets, or are you seeing it across the board throughout the country?
Throughout the country. Each region of the United States has attributes for manufacturing and different types of manufacturing. So that in the Great Lakes, it has a history and a tradition in the auto industry and in heavy production. In the Southeast, it has a history in textiles and furniture, which can be applied to other industries. In the southern Texas region, and also in California, it's more high tech and electronics. So that each region has benefits, and what companies look for is they're looking both for being in a certain region, but also being able to attract a certain labor that can understand their production and their manufacturing processes.
Now, are there certain economic indicators that are leading to this onshoring and kind of pointing to this trend?
Well, the economic indicators that we're seeing are companies actually doing it. We're seeing companies like NCR bringing back production from China to Georgia. We're seeing companies like Coleman bringing back production to Kansas. And then we're also seeing companies making decisions to expand the United States, such as Caterpillar building 4 new facilities around the United States this year, and Dow Chemical building a major battery plant in Michigan.
That's great, that's great. Now, what does all of this mean for the various real estate sectors? Are we going to be seeing more build-to-suits? Do we have enough inventory for these type of manufacturing facilities?
I think that it's going to be a benefit across the board. These are large companies making very large decisions, and so they're first going to look into a region to see whether or not there's an existing facility that can work for them. And they're going to need a facility that has the attributes and the amenities that they need. They're going to need power, they're going to need infrastructure, and they're going to need certain improvements for their processes. In the event that they don't find those, then they'll have to go to a build-to-suit. In the event they go to a build-to-suit, at that moment in time, they're going to be building a building, so they'll be employing construction workers, electricians, and contractors to build the building. They'll also be utilizing land sites and land and industrial parks throughout the country.
So that sounds like a very good trickle-down effect.
It's a great trickle-down effect from both an employment on our construction trades and also the absorption of buildings and land throughout the country.
Now, another factor that we're hearing about is they're expecting 2 billion additional people to move into the middle class in other parts of the world, throughout the world.
That's correct.
How will that tie into all this, and what should real estate brokers be doing in order to help their clients tap into those markets?
Well, I think several things are going to be in effect here. As this middle class increases throughout the world, companies that are currently manufacturing in Asia will sell more of their products that are manufactured in Asia to those people in that region who want to buy cell phones and TVs and other things that middle class America is currently buying.
Sure.
What that'll mean is that those products that are being made in Asia and now shipped to the United States, a lower percentage of those will be shipped back to the United States. So those companies will then have to make those products in the United States and be closer to their customer.
Now, Mark, this sounds like a significant shift in the manufacturing sector. How long is this going to take to play out? And is this something that is sustainable for the long term?
It's absolutely sustainable for the long term. These companies are making major decisions to invest millions and millions of dollars in new plant and equipment in the United States. So they're doing this for the long term. So when Volkswagen makes a decision to build a new facility here and invest those dollars, they're not doing it for a short period of time. So this will affect, for decades, the manufacturing sector in the United States.
This movement towards onshoring represents a significant shift both in philosophy and in capital expenditure by U.S. corporations. This is a long-term movement that will translate to job growth, increased productivity in the manufacturing sector, as well as a stabilization in the manufacturing sector, as well as the industrial real estate market. Thanks for joining us.